Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of Subject Math. Today we'll be talking about coordinate geometry. I'll be talking a lot on coordinate geometry. Now, when I talk about coordinate geometry, we're going to be talking about the Cartesian plane a lot, and equation and what? Straight lines. Now, for example, this is a straight line. This is a straight line joining what? These 2 points on this graph. So join this point and this graph. If I were to look for the distance between what? This point, and the distance between these 2 points, and this is your what? This is your what? Distance to your y, and this here to your x. So what you simply do is what? Look for the difference. That is your y2 minus your y1. And your what? X2 minus your what? X1. So to find this distance from here to here on this plane is what? You use this formula. That's the formula of what? Because this is a right angle triangle. Right angle what? Triangle. So the distance of what? S and O here is what? The square root of what? X2 minus X1 square plus Y2 minus Y1 square. So with this, let us pick questions and deal with them immediately. Here, given this question, JAM 2010 question number 35. So we have here, let's say this is your x1, y1, x2, y2. So ask us to look for distance. So distance here is equal to what? Square root of what? Now let's go y2. Sorry, x2, that's 1 over 2 minus what? X1, that's 1 over 2 squared plus y2, that's what? Minus 1 over 2 minus y1, 1 over 2 squared. So this is equal to the LCM here. The LCM here is what? LCM here is 2. So this is what? 2 here what? Minus 1 minus 1 squared plus what? You look for your LCM to that's 2. 2 divided by 2, 1. 1 times minus 1 minus 1. 2 divided by 2, 1. 1 times minus 1 minus 1. Don't forget square. So this is now square root of what? Minus 2 divided by 2 squared plus what? Minus 2 divided by 2 squared. So this is square root of what? 2 divided by 2, 1. Minus 1 squared plus minus 1 squared. So that becomes square root of what? 1 plus 1. 1 squared minus 1 squared is 1. That is square root of what? 2. That's what? Root 2. So the distance between this position and this position is equal to root 2. Now looking at this question clearly, the distance between the point 4,3 and the intersection. Now 4,3 there, and they're giving us as our what? X1 what? Y1. So that 4,3. Now for this intersection, y is equal to 2x plus 4 and y is equal to 7 minus x. So from this intersection, we're going to find what? Our y2 and x2. So let's arrange this to do like a simultaneous equation. That's y minus 2x is equal to 4, equation 1, and y minus what? Y plus x is equal to what? 7, equation 2. So, solving by elimination. So it makes y minus 1 out. Minus times this, that's minus 3 minus 2x minus, that's what? Minus 3x is equal to 4 minus 4 minus 7, that's minus 3. So x here is equal to minus 3 divided by minus 3. X here is equal to what? 1. So I haven't gotten my value here as 1. So what? I can now what? Go further to find my value of y. So y here is now what? 2x plus what? 4. So y is equal to 2, 1 plus what? 4. So y here is equal to 2 plus 4. That is what? Y here is equal to 6. So what am I trying to say? I've been able to find this is my y1, y2, so I now have my what? My x2, y2, which is equal to what? 1, 6. So they ask us to find the distance. So distance here is equal to square root of what? X2 minus x1 plus what? Y2 minus y1. So this is equal to, what is my y? That's 1 minus what? 1 minus 4, don't forget you have a square, please. Square plus what? 6 minus what? 6 minus 3 square. So this goes further here to the what? 1 minus 3, that's what? 1 minus 3, that's minus 1 minus 4, that's minus 3. Minus 3 square is what? 9. Plus 6 minus 3, that's 3. 3 square is what? 9. So that is what? 9 plus that is what? Root 18. So square of it, that is equal to what? Look at, pay attention to this. This is what? 9 times 2. So square root of 9 is what? 3. You have what? Your root 2. So this is now equal to what? 3 root 2. And 3 root 2 there is your final answer. So going further, so what is the value of r if the distance between the 2 points? Now have what? Our x1, y1, x2, y2 is what? 3 units. So distance here is equal to square root of what? 1 minus 4 square plus r minus what? 2 square. So the distance is 3. That's 3 is equal to square root of what? Minus 3 square plus what? R minus what? 2. So you square both sides. So this one cancels this. 3 square, that's what? 9 is equal to what? Minus 3 square, that's what? 9 plus what? Expanding this. So expanding this, that becomes what? R square minus what? Minus 4r plus what? 4. So collecting like terms, this becomes r squared minus 4r plus 4 plus what? 9 minus 9 is equal to 0. So here this becomes r squared minus 4r plus what? 4. When this cancels, this is equal to 0. So at this junction, factors that r squared minus what? Minus 2r minus 2r plus 4. I'm factorizing. This is a quadratic equation. So factorizing the quadratic equation. So r here open bracket what? R minus 2. What is here? Minus 2 open bracket what? R minus 2 is equal to 0. So going further here, this becomes that what? R minus 2 in bracket what? R minus 2 is equal to 0. So r here, R minus 2 is equal to 0, or r minus 2 is equal to 0. So r is equal to 2 or r is equal to 2. Conclusively, r is what? 2 twice. So r here is what? 2 twice, and that is what? The final answer. Now going further, we'll have a question here. Find the value of alpha squared plus beta squared if alpha plus beta is equal to 2 and the distance between the point 1, alpha and beta, 1 is 3 units. So this is what? x1, y1, x2, y2. So this becomes, now my distance here is equal to square root of what? Beta minus 1 square plus what? 1 minus alpha square. So they say the distance here is equal to 3 units. So this becomes what? Beta minus 1 square plus what? 1 minus alpha square is equal to 3. So dealing with expanding this becomes what? Beta squared, okay, square root of beta squared, minus what? 2 what? Beta plus 1. Plus expanding this 1 minus what? 2 alpha plus what? Alpha squared is equal to what? 3. So at this junction, I can what? Square both sides. If I square both sides, so this will then cancel square root. So this becomes what? It becomes beta square minus what? 2 beta 1 plus 1 plus 2 minus what? Minus what? Minus 2 alpha plus alpha square is equal to what? 9. So going forward, I have here that alpha square plus beta square minus 2 open bracket what? Alpha plus beta is equal to what? 9. Then this 2 comes over. 9 minus 2. So we have this brought down. We have our 2 positive. So now going further here, so this becomes what? The alpha square plus beta square minus 2. Remember from the question said that alpha plus beta is equal to 2. So replace this with what? 2 is equal to what? 7. So alpha square plus beta square is equal to what? 7 plus what? 4. So this becomes that what? Alpha square plus beta square is equal to 11. So 11 there is our final answer. So we move forward here to midpoint. So midpoint is the center of what? The point or center of the Cartesian. So we have what? Find the midpoint of S and T. So midpoint here, I thought that midpoint is given by this formula, and this is your formula for midpoint. I'd like you to what? Note that. So having a formula for midpoint. So midpoint here, midpoint of S and T becomes, my midpoint is now equal to, this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So midpoint here becomes what? What is my x2 minus 3 minus 5 over 2, comma, minus 2 plus what? 4 over 2. So this is now what? Minus 8 over 2, comma, 2 over 2. Then reducing this becomes minus 4, comma, 1. So this is what? Our midpoint to that particular expression or question. Now look at this. So say if the midpoint of line PQ is this, now the midpoint already, midpoint is equal to 2,3 already, right? So here 2,3 is equal to, now we have this as what? X1, Y1. Okay, so your midpoint is given by what? Your X2 plus what? Your X1, that's what? Your X1 is as minus 2 over 2, comma, Y2 plus what? Plus 1 over what? 2. So you take this to this and this to this. So X2 minus 2 over 2 is equal to 2, comma what? Y2 plus 1 over 2 is equal to what? Is equal to 3. So this cross multiply, this is the x2 here is equal to what? Okay, sorry, s2 minus 2 is equal to 4. So s2 is equal to what? 4 plus 2. So s2 here is equal to 6. So this one follows that same procedure. Cross multiply, that's y2 plus 1 is equal to what? Is equal to 6. So y2 here is equal to 6 minus 1. So y2 is equal to 5. So we're talking our x2, y2 here is equal to 6, 5. So 6, 5 there, that's the answer to that JAMB question that came out in 2013, question number 31. So evaluating this, don't forget, this is your what? Okay, so this is your what? X, x1, y1, x2, y2. So if the value of, find the value of k, if the midpoint of the one line joining this. So let's proceed. The midpoint here is what? Minus k and what? K. So proceeding, we can now say what? Let's go. X what? X2, that is what? 2 plus what? Plus 1 minus k over 2, comma, and what? Y2, that's k plus 1, minus 4 over what? 2 is equal to k comma what? K comma k, which is the midpoint. So here this becomes what? 2 plus 1, that's what? 3 minus k over 2 is equal to what? Minus k is equal to minus k, comma, k plus 1, that's what? K minus 3 over 2 is equal to k. So at this junction, the question made a specification. Find the value of k. Find the value of k. So we're going to leave negative k and go with positive k. So this becomes what? K minus 3 is equal to what? 2k. So we cross multiply. So at this junction, this comes over. When it comes over, so it becomes what? What will it be? This comes over, that's what? 2k minus k is equal to minus 3. So this becomes what? 2k minus k, that's k is equal to minus 3. So minus 3 there is our final what? Answer. So going further here, we have what? Gradient. So gradient here is given by m, and m here is equal to y2 minus y1 all over y2. So y2 minus y1 over what? X2 minus what? X1. So that's changing what? Changing y over what? Changing x. That's your what? Slope. And like m is equal to changing y over changing x. So that's your what? Slope. For example, now find the what? Find the slope of the line passing through. So we have here that this is what? This is our x1, y1, x2, y2. So find the what? Slope. So slope here, m here is equal to what? 5 minus what? 1 over what? 2 minus 1. So m here is equal to 5 minus 1, that's what? 4 over what? 1. So your slope here is equal to what? 4. So that's the answer to that JAMB question that came out in the year 2010. Question number what? 36. So here we have another question. The gradient of the what? Of the line joining this and this is 1 over 2. So that is what? M here is equal to what? Y2 minus y1 over what? X2 minus what? X1. Don't forget that that's your change. So this becomes, let's say the slope is what? 1 over 2. So 1 over 2 here is equal to, don't forget, x1, y1, x2, y2. So that is what? 2 minus 4. 2 minus 4 over what? Over what? 1 minus x. So at this junction, 1 over 2 is equal to 2 minus 4, that's what? Minus 2 over 1 minus x. At this junction, cross multiply. So 1 minus x is equal to 2 times 2, that's minus 4. So minus x here is equal to minus 4. This comes over to minus 1. So minus x is equal to minus 5. Divide both sides by minus 1. So minus cancel minus. So x is equal to minus cancel minus. X here is equal to what? 5. So your value of x here is 5. That's the answer to that question that came out in JAMB. Okay, so let's pay close attention to these questions. This is not the final, but I want us to review these questions before we proceed. This is 5. So these are the questions. So if you're able to solve this question, then we are good to proceed to the next. If you are not able to solve them, I will please advise for you to go back to what we've done earlier to master up. So going further, we have what? Equation of a line. Now the equation of a line is given by y is equal to mx plus what? Plus c. Now this your m here is known as the slope or gradient, and your c here is known as the what? The intercept. Now we have a question here that says, what is the y-intercept and gradient of the line whose equation is? Now we have an equation here that what? X over 5 plus y over 3 is equal to 1 over 3. So they ask us to find the what? The intercept and gradient. So first and foremost, let us clear this. What is the LCM here? LCM of 5, 3 and 3, 15. So multiply through by the LCM, which is 15. That's 15 open bracket x over 5 plus 15 open bracket y over 3 is equal to 15 open bracket 1 over 3. So 5 here 1, 5 here 3. 5 here 1, 3 here 1, 3 here 5. 3 here 1, 3 here 5. So multiplying this becomes 3 times x, that is 3x, plus 5 times y, 5y, is equal to 5 times 1, 5. So at this junction, rearrange it to look like this particular equation. So rearranging it to look like that, 5y is equal to minus 3x plus what? 5. So divide through by 5, that is what? Y is equal to minus 3x over 5 plus what? 5 over 5. So at this junction, y here is now equal to what? Minus 3 over 5x plus 1. So my y-intercept here is what? 1, and my slope or gradient here is what? Minus 3 over 5. So this is what we have here as our final answer. Now we have a question here. The question here said, find the gradient of the line whose equation is given. Now look at the equation here, and we'll ask to find the gradient. Now don't forget, if I have to find the gradient, then we have to rearrange it to look like this. So rearranging it to be like this. So rearrange the equation to be like your equation of what? A line that says that y is equal to what? Mx plus c. So here, rearranging it here, so you have to take this to this other side to become what? C minus d y is equal to, so if being here is equal to, bring this one to this side, it become minus a minus b x, then we have this plus what? E minus f. So at this junction, divide all through by the coefficient of y, which is what? C minus d over C minus d over C minus d. So this cancels out. So y here is equal to minus open bracket a minus b x all over C minus d plus what? E minus f over C minus d. So we are asked to find our slope here, which is what? M here is equal to minus a minus b over C minus d. And that is what we have here as our final answer, your slope here. So here, we're talking about what? Equation passing through 2 points. Now if it passes through the first point, I will have our first slope to be y minus y1 over x minus x1, and the second point to be this. Now the first slope is equal to the second slope, so which generates this equation. Now so this is the equation of what? When two line passes, when it touches 2 points, or when it passes through 2 points, when a line passes through 2 points. So this is the equation. Now look at this, find the equation of the line through the point. Now look at it, has this point here. So this is our x1, y1, x2, y2. So finding the equation here, this becomes that x minus, sorry, y minus y1 over x minus what? x1 is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y minus, what is our y1? That is what? 1 over x minus minus 2 is equal to y2. What is y2? 4 minus y1, 1 over, what is x? x2 here is what? Minus 1 over 2 minus x1 minus, that's plus what? 2. So at this junction, y minus 1 over what? X plus 2 is equal to 3 over LCM here. The LCM here is what? 2. 2 divided by 2, 1 times minus 1 minus 1 plus 2 divided by 1, 2. 2 times 2, 4. So I can now say that what? Y minus 1 over x plus 2 is now equal to 3 divided by 4 minus 1, that is what? 3 over 2. So we proceed by cross multiplying here. So when you cross multiply, we have 3 over 2 y minus 1 is equal to what? 3 open bracket what? X plus 2. So expanding this becomes 3y minus 3 over what? 2 is equal to 3 open bracket x plus 2. So cross multiply, this becomes 3y minus 3 is equal to 6 open bracket x plus 2. So this becomes 3y minus 3 is equal to 6x plus 12. So rearranging them, this becomes 3y is equal to what? 6x plus 12 plus what? 3. So this is 3y is equal to 6 plus 15. So we'll go further. The 3 is common, so divide all through by 3. This 3 is common. So this becomes that y is equal to 2x plus 5. So this is your what? The equation of a line passing through these 2 points. Now going further, we have a question here. In the figure above, what is the equation of the line that passes through this? Now it has through the y-axis, it passes what? 0, 5, and at x-axis it passes what? 5, 0. Now this is very needed. So let's note this. This is our what? x1, y1, x2, y2. So don't forget your equation that says y2, okay, y minus y1 over x minus x1 is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So this is y minus y1, that is 5, over x minus x1, 0, which is y2, which is 0 minus y1, 5, over x2, that's 5 minus 0. So this is now what? Y minus 5 over x is equal to minus 5 over 5, where this can cancel. So we have that y minus 5 over x is equal to 1. Cross multiply. To cross multiply, this becomes y minus 5 is equal to x. So y here is equal to x plus 5. So y is equal to x plus 5. What option is that? So that's your option C. And we got our final answer correctly. Here, we're talking about parallel parallel lines. So when two lines are parallel, when two lines are parallel, then their m1 here is equal to their m2, which is their slopes, they are equal. Now we have the slope of this is y2 minus y1 over s2 minus, so the same thing, we find their slope. Now look at PQ and RS are two parallel lines. If the coordinates of P, Q, R, and S are this, and this, respectively, find the value of Q. Now, let's find the slope of what? RS. So the slope of RS is what? This first. These are the coordinates of what? Of what? R and S. Okay, hold on. Let's check it out. Sorry, so let's find the coordinate of what? PQ. Coordinate of P and Q, not RS. So these are the coordinates of PQ, and these are the coordinates of R and S. So this one here, don't forget, for this first two, you have what? 1 comma Q and what? 3 comma 2. So y2 minus what? y1 over what? x2 minus what? Minus x1. You got that? So let's go. The slope of RS. RS here, what are we having? We are having what? 3 comma 4 and what? 5 comma what? 2q. So this becomes slope of RS. So this becomes what? 2q minus 4 all over what? 5 minus 3. So don't forget, they said that what? They are equal. So slope of what? PQ is equal to what? The slope of RS. So slope of PQ here gives us what? 2 minus q over 2 is equal to 2q minus 4 over 2. So at this junction you can say 2 cancels this 2, which is out. So this becomes 2 minus q here is equal to 2q minus 4. So going further here, bringing all q to one side, so minus what? Minus q minus 2q is equal to minus 4 minus 2. So this is what? Minus 3q here is equal to minus 6. So divide both sides by minus 3. So minus 3 cancel minus 3. Your minus cancels your minus. 3 here 1, 3 here 2. So your q here is equal to 2. I will have 2 here, and that is the final answer to this particular question. So this is another question. Here, what do we do? Now we have just one point, and we have an equation here. So what do? You take your equation. We're going to find our slope, one of the slope from here. So that is what 2x plus y is equal to 6. So this becomes y is equal to minus 2x plus 6. So at this junction, m here is equal to minus 2. So m here is equal to minus 2. That's m here is equal to x minus x1 over, y minus y1 over x minus x1. Since we have our slope to minus 2, so minus 2 here is equal to y minus, this is your what? X1 and what? Y1. So y minus what? Y1, that is minus 3 over what? X minus what? S minus 2. So at this junction, cross multiply. Minus 2 open bracket, s minus 2 is equal to y plus 3. So minus 2x plus 4 is equal to y plus 3. So bring all this to this side. So y plus 2x plus 3 minus 4 is equal to 0. So y plus 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. And that is what we have there as the what? Equation. So moving straight ahead, we have perpendicular lines. So our perpendicular lines is not different. It's still just like what we've been doing. But here, just like what the M1 and M2, your two slopes, gives what? Minus 1. So now we have a question. Find the equation of the straight line through the points minus 2 and 3 and the perpendicular of what? 4x plus what? 5y plus 3y minus 5 is equal to 0. So let's get the equation here. 4x plus 3y minus 5 is equal to 0. So let's rearrange it to be like equation of a line. That's 3y is equal to minus 4x plus 5. So divide all through by 3. So 3 cancels. So y here is equal to minus 4 over 3x plus 5 over 3. So automatically, we now have our m to the minus 4 over 3. So if our m is minus 4, don't forget they said that what? m1, m2 is equal to minus 1 when it is perpendicular. So our m1 is now what? Minus 4 over 3 of m2 is equal to minus what? 1. So divide both sides. So m2 here is equal to minus 1 divided by what? Minus 4 over 3. So m2 here is equal to what? Minus 1 times what? 3 over minus 4, where this cancels. So m2 here is equal to 3 over 4. Having gotten this as 3 over 4, don't forget that m is equal to y minus what? y1 over what? X minus x1. So our slope here is 3 over 4. That is what? 3 over 4 is equal to y minus, don't forget we have 2 points, x and what? Y. Y minus 3 over what? X minus minus. This is having minus. So minus there and this minus, that gives us what? Plus what? 2. So at this junction, we cross multiply. So this is 3 open bracket, x plus 2 is equal to 4 open bracket, y minus 3. So expanding this becomes 3x plus 6 is equal to 4y minus what? Minus 12. So bringing everything to one side, that's 4y minus 3x minus minus 12 minus 6, that equal to 0. So 4y minus what? 3x minus what? 18 is equal to 0. So with this is what? Our perpendicular line, or this is the equation passing through the perpendicular at the point. So finally, you have practice questions here for us to try out. So try as much as you can to practice these questions. Its answers were given in the red, with the red marker. So please try as much as you can to answer these questions to boost what you have learned.